caught pretty well. Should be around 177, 170. Well. Welcome back to another episode of Mike Torres Golf with your host, Mike Torres. Today we're going to be testing out the Ping G430 Irons. We saw that the driver of this from the 425 was fantastic. Interested to see how the irons are going to compare to the driver, if that's going to be an upgrade too. When we come back, I'm going to go show you all the different tangibles of the iron. Definitely has a different look in the back comparatively to last year. I want to kind of dive deep into it. It's very chunky. One of the main, it's a very chunky club. So I'm interested to see how much game improvement you can actually get from this. But let's go over that when we get back. All right, so we have this bad boy. So the one thing that jumped out is the toe. Definitely puts them a little extra in the toe this year. It made it very chunky on that area too. They have a screw in there, so you're gonna have a lot of forgiveness there. As a whole, this club in general is very, very clean, very precise. Ping, I never am shocked by ping. But the one thing that at address that I'm seeing is that this is really, really chunky. So that's one of the things that I'm interested to see. Is it going to be an eyesore for me because I'm not used to hitting these? But again, I have to think of it's more of a game improvement on. And so let's go from there. Let's go hit a few shots, and then I'll get back realistic feedback data, and then we go back to the house.
Yeah, you tried to rip that one.
Yeah. That's good. 176. I felt my foot too. That was a good ball speed. Caught that a lot. Yeah. One step up, 180 on the distance. Right that one. That was caught pretty well. Should be around 177, 170. Well, 182. Okay. Maybe about 175. That's a 178, about right. That's a draw. That was hit hard. Yeah, look at that. 190 on the carrier. Good. Pin that a little bit. There's the draw, 180. There's the high draw, buck 80. Actually, may just end there. So when we go back to the house, we're gonna go check just the dispersion, overall thoughts, how I felt about the look. It's very hot. This comes off very hot. It's definitely a true game improvement iron, but we'll go more into detail when we go back to likes, the dislikes, the feel of it coming off the club, as well as just the overall thought process of it. But pretty solid club, if I have to say so myself. Besides that, I'm gonna go back to the house. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, and we are going to go over the data from the simulator. But before you do that, hit that subscribe button, because we are going to be doing, and I put it up on my my page, Wednesday and Sunday. There will be a review of either, I'm trying to go through the drivers first, then the irons, then woods, as well as a few other things that maybe brought to my attention. Hit that subscribe button. For me, like I said, not sponsored by anybody. I say it how it is. Really don't care for any companies hitting me at this point. But for me, helps me out, gets my community going, and for me, I do answer. If you notice in most of my videos, any comments, I check all my comments, and I will respond. So the more active you are and the more comments you say, and I've already gotten some good ideas from the community, keep them coming, because in reality, I'm going to the simulator's 10 minutes from me. So in reality, they treat me like gold anyway. So enough babbling. Let's go right to the data now, and let's have the conversation. The G430 Max irons. Now, I made sure the club speed, I didn't have to, here's the beautiful thing, I didn't have to really take any shots out. Like, for me, it was in a 1 mile per hour consistency. And then the ball speed, I was really impressed with the ball speed. I was definitely mishitting that club a decent amount. There was a lot of forgiveness, and the other thing that I noticed is that the launch angle was really good on this club. Smash factor was really good too. I was really pinging this club. I swear to God, if you don't throw a like for that, I completely get it. But let's go through the carry distances. So when your worst shot's a 176.6 and it totals 188. Pretty damn good. Very impressed with this category. Was the carry distance that this ball, or not the ball, these clubs will keep that ball in the air from a distance. I was hitting from everything, anywhere from 180 to 190. The 84.9. I hit that at a 120 and a 142. I put that to 180. That's an unbelievably slow swing for me. That's almost like a 3/4 swing for me. And I am pounding that thing out 180 yards in the air. The narrative for this is, these numbers are definitely telling you something. The rollout here, that's the one thing that I did see that I didn't see a lot of checking up. And I think everybody kind of knows this at this point. When you play a game improvement iron, and I was hitting a 7-iron the entire time, your spin rate's going to go down. But that's okay because they're still going to hold greens. The whole point of this is, if you are not a good ball striker, you get the extra distance to get you there on miss hits. I also swing almost on a closed face, so always take it, and I say that just to generally make you understand that you will probably have higher spin rates than I will. So that's why I'm going to say these spin rates for coming out, like I did have one at 5,500, 51. These are pretty good for me, actually, off of a game improvement iron. The other cool thing is that I was playing a few shots to a draw, but I was really trying to play a hard, high fade with this. Once I saw the launch angle and what I can do with this, I just wanted to hit into one or two spots, and the dispersion. I hit one or two draws. These three are all draws. Even though this is on right of the line, I know I left this outright on purpose, and it drew back. This did exactly what I wanted to do, and then for these 4 down here, I played a high, hard fade, and I was able to, to put it where I wanted to. For me, the one thing I saw immediately is that it got up fast. This club got up fast on the launch angle, which that is something big for a lot of players. They have a hard time getting it up. Okay, come on. I have to get a few of those manly jokes in there. And I really didn't mishit this thing at all. Like, this thing was really well made. So, when we come back, we're going to go to the final analysis of what I think. And then we will go from there. Hopefully, if you are a Ping fan, and I can save you money, and, if this is the club for you, I'll let you know. But that's about it. Other than that, stay tuned. All right, my final analysis on the G430 Ping Irons of 2023. So, I was hitting the living daylights out of that 7-iron. The one thing that I mentioned in the data is that I had a wide range of club speed from 84 to 88, and I pounded an 84 mile per hour swing 180 yards. That's a 3/4 swing for me on a 7-iron. I look at it like this. I look at it at address. Now, at address, drive me insane because it is a bit chunky. But once you start swinging it, all of that goes right out the door. I was hitting it off the toe. I was hitting it off the heel. And I was trying to do specified things with the ball, and it was able to do it regardless of where I hit it. So if you are looking for a game improvement iron and, something that's forgiving, this was really good both sides, not just so where the tungsten is, but on the heel. There are other game improvement irons that I did say that I think everybody always tries to fix the toe, but there are some game improvement irons. I didn't see the heel really helping out on forgiveness. This one I did. I hit it everywhere on the iron face, and it just went to the place where I wanted it to, and it got up fast. The only downside for me, and it's not really a downside, it's really because of the way I swing, it was a spin rate. When I'm putting on a 7-iron, 185, 190, you got to give and take. So take that into account. Again, my spin rates are always going to be lower than yours because I come in out of a different swing path and I hit the ball slightly different. My spin rate has always been lower. I would say it's definitely going to be a higher mid to a high handicap. I would say if you are trying to do a mixed bag and you're trying to not play a hybrid and you're trying to maybe play a 4 or a 5 iron out of this to play it around like 230 or 220, you're probably going to get a lot of forgiveness, and you can probably get that into a split bag. There's options with this iron. The way I looked at it and the way I felt and hit it, I sat there and I'm like, well, I wouldn't get it for like my scoring wedges or anything like that. I wouldn't get this, 6-through pitching wedge because, for me, I'm a lower scoring player. But if you're a mid or higher handicap and you're like, hey, like I want to maybe get irons that have control, and then I want distance with a 4 and 5, you can split this bag. There's no doubt about it. Like I can imagine that for me, I could probably hit a 4 iron from Ping if I'm hitting a 7 iron 190, probably like 220, 230. So that's probably going to be the same type of feel to give about 35 yards. I can see this because of how forgiving being a weapon in a mixed bag. And that's just my honest assessment. So again, Ping, you outdid yourself again. As always, your driver was fantastic this year. You changed the sound of the driver. I know I got a lot of shit from people about the sound, but I may be playing that driver end of February. So we'll have talks about that. But besides that, if you like the channel, hit that subscribe button. I think Ping did a great job. I think if you are looking for game improvement irons forgiveness, this would definitely be at the top of the list, very close to it or at the top. Definitely need to try these. And that's about it. Other than that, if you know how all of my streams end, I keep it real!